We're still moving on to royal matters. The AmaXhosa royal house has called for the nation to mourn King Mpendulo Zwelonke Sigcawu for the next 12 months. This says Nkosi Dumehleli Mapasa has been named acting AmaXhosa king. The Xhosa nation has also been urged to wear its traditional regalia every day until the king is laid to rest on the 29th of November. The call was made by the king's uncle and family spokesperson Xhanti Sigcawu after a royal entourage visited the Nelson Mandela Academic Hospital in Mthatha, where the king died, to fetch his body. SABC reporter Atule Joka joins us now for more. So let's first start with Atule. Where does King Siccawu's body lie as we speak?
Please come again.
Where does the king's body lie at the moment? Atule?
Well, good evening to you in studio and a warm welcome to Good evening to you in studio and a warm welcome to SABC News viewers. Well, I can tell you that the body of the king was repatriated from the Mthatha morgue, and there was a ritual that was performed there, and it was sent to his home of Xhatu Great Place village, where they performed the ritual with a Xhosa, a branch of leaf called umpaf, where they lead the way to tell him they are here to fetch his body with his spirit, to say he mustn't bother the people that he has left behind. So they took the body, they went with the body home to announce to the ancestors that they come back with the king and his spirit. So the body now is at Atule, which is a town which is close by to the village and the great place of the AmaXhosa king. But today, though, it was an announcement of an acting king. The king who was announced as an acting king is King Dumehleli Mapasa, and he will be acting until further notice, until the proceedings of the funeral are complete. And up until then the AmaXhosa nation will come and sit down and appoint who will ascend to the throne and become a heir of the AmaXhosa nation.
So what do we know of the interim successor? Who is he within the lineage, and where does he fall in place, and whether or not he can eventually ascend to the throne?
At this moment, what I can tell you is that he comes from the right hand of the royal family. There are two families within the royal family. The first one is the left hand and the right hand. If I can give perspective to this, King Phalo, which is the father of King Galega and King Xhaxabe, was the king, and then they had these two houses, these two separate houses, and then they were separated, and then there's a kingship of Xhaxabe, and then there's kingship of Galega. The king who has fallen now, King Zwelonke Sigcawu, came from the Galega household, but they are still they still have sort of a consensus among their kingship. So they have called the right hand family of the eldest king, which is the King Xhaxabe, to come and oversee the matter. That household is ruled by Queen Noloyiso, who is a regent in that family. So he came to oversee that process, to officiate that a king Dumehleli Mapasa must act as an acting king at this moment. But he comes from the right hand of the family, which is the families of Xhosa. That's the lineage there, as far as we know. And what we had heard is that he will administer some of the smaller issues until there is an official king. He will not have too much of powers. What he will do is that he will oversee the issues. He is sort of an honorary leader, just so that AmaXhosa leader, it is not very usual for AmaXhosa not to have a seated king. So he is appointed on those bases.
All right, so just quickly take us through the mourning period, how long it will be, and what it will be characterized by.
It is not very clear how long it will take, but what they've told us is that as the family, they will want us to give them that sort of a time until they are ready to announce who will ascend to throne. But they did tell us that they have planned 6 memorial services for the king. One will be in Cape Town, one will be in Johannesburg, another one here in Eastern Cape, and another one will be at Market Theatre in conjunction with Contralesa, and another one will be beyond the borders of the country in Harare, Hare and Gaborone, where the king had ties there with other kings on those land. So they've asked us to give them that time, that mourning period, to also respect that process, and then they will tell us when the time is ready as to who will ascend to power. But we do know that the king did have a wife with a son who is only 2 years old, who is likely to, maybe his mother might act as a regent, and also there was a brother to the king who is also the son of King Mpendulo Zwelonke Sigcawu, who passed away in 2005 before the fallen king took over the reins in 2006. Before he was coronated in 2015, there was such a debacle, and who was supposed to got into power in the first place. So there's those dynamics that will come into play, but we will wait and see how that issue will unfold and who is likely to ascend into power in the AmaXhosa nation.
Thank you very much, SABC reporter Atule Joka. I'm going to take a quick break. Don't go away.